Hello, welcome to the WrestleFriends Podcast. I'm Dave and Mark's here.
Hello, WrestleFriends.
And I didn't realise we were already there, so I just jumped straight into it. Was that okay?
That's fine.
How you been? What you been up to?
I'm fine. So me and Amanda went to a spa for our 3rd wedding anniversary.
Ooh.
And a funny thing happened. So we were in this. It was like really hot day, and I was in the outside pool, and it had like a jacuzzi, but it also had these like things that were like jet showers that you stand underneath and like relax you and stuff. So So there was 2 buttons, and I didn't know one was for the jacuzzi, and one was for these jet showers. So like I was at the side, and I was like, I want to put the jacuzzi on, and I pressed one of the buttons, and the button was for the jet shower, not the jacuzzi. And some lady was walking past, and it like shot her right in the face.
That's brilliant.
And yeah.
Where?
What was it called? Ramside? Oh.
Ramside? Never heard of it. I've never been there.
I think it's called Ramside. I enjoyed the spa experience.
Your first time? Spa?
I've been to a spa before. I basically liked the bit where I got to sit and play on my PlayStation Vita in quiet. But I like going in the pool. You got fruit.
Really?
I was eating loads of fruit. And
Did you put cucumbers on your eyes for any reason?
No, but there was water with cucumber in that tasted delicious.
I've never been to a spa before. Maybe is it something my wife would like to do as a couple?
I think she would. Women's like them sorts of things.
I can't see me being the type of person to be spa person.
You enjoy going in a pool?
It depends if it's been pissed in or not.
It's not been, no kids are allowed, so there's not that much pissing going on.
Adults do piss in pools as well.
Only poor people.
And then there's poo particles as well, because if you pump underwater, there might be poo particles. What if someone's not wiped their arse properly?
Yeah, probably don't go to a spa if these are the things you're going to be thinking.
And then there's Veruca worry, because no one's got shoes on in them places, so like anyone could pass on their fungal infections.
They wear flip-flops. Supplied with flip-flops.
Oh yeah.
So I went in. I don't like extreme heat. It makes us feel sick and uncomfortable.
Right. How do you cope with being on holiday then?
I sit under the shade and drink coffee and
cry
like a little vampire. But we did an experiment. We went into like a sauna at exactly the same time, me and my wife, and like sat. And like after a minute, she had like a few dots of like perspiration on her, but not too bad. But I was absolutely like covered, like just sweat pissing off us. So there must be like people must have different temperatures.
I feel like I'm a sweaty person. I feel like I'm a hot person as well.
I'm not a sweaty person, but I think that's because I'm so like good at keeping me temperature, because I am like get warm quickly. I've like learned skills.
You should pass them skills.
I wear shorts in winter.
I just let my I always thought it was because I was a bit ginger, and ginger people get hot quicker, and they get red quicker, because we're ginger. And that's basically how it works, isn't it?
It is.
So.
I heard that ginger people smell of piss, but you don't. So.
You just totally like got rid of all my ginger listeners, eh? Like there's none. Do I have any ginger listeners?
I would imagine out of the 112 that will have the downloads.
Is that 112 listeners or 112
No, that's 112 downloads.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, over, 7 episodes? So...
I think we're going to hit big time soon.
Well, this is episode 9 and I haven't released episode 8, so anyway. But yeah, I'm happy at this point to alienate ginger people.
Yeah.
What have you been up to, Dave?
I feel like I've just came back to the planet Earth. I'm not being ignorant. I'm trying to get something up on my phone that's...
People don't know that you're being ignorant. They couldn't see you.
I know, but you might know. I'm actually apologising to you, not anyone else. I'm just looking at my phone because I remembered something that I needed to mention on the show during my intro.
You're so organised.
Yeah, I've been away to Scotland to a little place called Cranshaws. It's right on the borders. It's where my grandfather lives, and he lives right next to this beautiful lake it's very isolated and there's no internet, there's no phone signal, so I actually feel like I've just came back to planet Earth. It's lovely, it's great, but there's no wrestling, so that's a bit pap.
Could you not have just wrestled with your granddad?
I could have just wrestled with sheep or something like that, but I don't know. People might have thought I was being a bit weird.
How would an emergency work?
Also, there's a cockerel up there that wakes us up every morning, and I really felt like wringing the stupid thing's neck.
5 a.m.
Yeah, and I think that might be my granddad's fault, because he takes seed out in the morning to feed the pheasants, and they all come like, it's a bit like Sinister, like off of a horror film or something like that. Like they know what time he does it, and they all come surrounding like the door in the garden at a certain time of the day, and he does it like morning and evening. So there's 2 points of the day, and my wife's quite scared of birds, where Vicky has to hide at the back of the house, and my 4-year-old son gets very excited. And,
I think I would get excited.
He throws seed at birds.
Like, although I am slightly envious of that kind of lifestyle, I think I would miss quite quickly, like, living in a town, like, having amenities and, like, electronics and, like, things like that.
It's good for a few days, and it's good because you're like, if you live there, it's, my granddad's like really old, he's like 89 or something, he doesn't know internet.
89 or something, have you just guessed?
You could get the internet if you lived there. It's like half an hour drive to the nearest sort of people place, and they're usually quite nice places to visit. Like there's a place called Dunbar. It's like a little fishing village.
They've got quite a good football team, Dunbar.
It's lovely. They've got like a nice harbour, and I saw a seal or a sea lion.
I saw a picture. It's quite impressive.
Don't know the difference between a seal and a sea
seal.
lion.
It was a seal.
Oh, and I thought
letter.
And I thought it was funny because once that same seal, it was jumping on the fisherman's boat, trying to get some fish off the fisherman, which was funny, and I had an ice cream.
Seal rubber.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Netflix has a thing where you can download. Say you were watching House of Cards, you could download a season onto your iPad,
right,
or your tablet, and take it away with you.
I didn't know that.
On Netflix. So what I think would be a good thing for them to do on the network in the future is if, say, you were going somewhere where you weren't sure whether there was going to be internet, you could download, like, say, SummerSlam and watch it at a later date.
That would have been helpful. I did think
do that. Vince, do that.
Yeah, because he's going to be listening. I thought about that actually whilst I was away, but it still wouldn't have helped my situation because SummerSlam was on whilst I was away, so I wouldn't have been able to download it.
Just for the future, though.
Yeah.
Like Netflix does it, so I don't see why the network can't do it.
I didn't even know Netflix done that because I've just got rid of my Netflix actually. But I'll need it back for Stranger Things season 2.
We can share mine if you want.
Awesome. Can I? Cool.
And then we're going to have a share off because I'm surely sharing your network.
Yeah.
Because my wife allowed us to move Netflix on our joint account, which was nice.
Right.
So.
Cool.
We can share it.
Got anything else that you've been up to?
I had a nice full English breakfast on my birthday. I got some nice gift. I got a leather bound for me wedding anniversary of my life. I got of my life.
Of my life.
Of my wife.
Oh, my life.
She is my life. That was gay. I got a leather bound journal to write notes for the WrestleFriends podcast, and it's got WrestleFriends in Boston the corner. It's majestic.
It's beautiful. I'm gonna put a photo of the WrestleFriends journal on. Is it a journal?
It was described as a journal, but it's a notebook because journal makes it sound like an absolute bender.
Seems like you should have a briefcase if you've got a journal.
Or like being early like 2000s emo band or something. But I got lots of nice gift. I got a PSN voucher.
Ooh,
to buy games.
Jake got one of them.
To buy games on my Vita. I got 3 months Xbox Live. I got a new cafetiere and some coffee. I got some sweets.
I can vouch for that. I had a coffee out of it before. It was good.
Jack Daniels beer.
What's your Jack Daniels? Your Jack Daniels stockpile must be
I've got
more.
6 litres of Jack Daniels that I believe we probably will drink half of it when we go to Chikara.
I think we can talk about that now because Jake's not here.
Does he know?
Nah.
He's going to listen to this.
Yeah. I'm hoping he might miss this one.
Cool. You're going to have to tell him.
I'm just not going to tell
Do you
him.
want to explain the listener as well? Listener, what's happening?
So we're going to Chikara's King of Trios tournament. We're
Yeah.
going to the opening night of that. We've been to a Chikara show before. It's probably the first wrestling event we went to together, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
And we took Jake with us. But this time we thought this like we do a lot of stuff with Jake, wrestling related things, and we thought this time because it's in Wolverhampton, we're gonna go away and we're not gonna take Jake, and we're gonna probably get a bit drunk, and
Because you can't get drunk when children are there because you need a responsibility for them.
It's an irresponsible thing to do. So we're gonna go away and we're gonna get drunk and we're gonna watch some wrestling and probably shout really rude things and stuff like that.
British
And,
strong style, baby.
Yeah, we're gonna try and meet British strong style. We're gonna try and get Mark to talk to someone.
If I got to talk to Pete Dunne, I think even like drunk, I don't even after a whole liter of Jack Daniels, I still don't know how that would go.
I hope they do, because last time we went to see Chikara, there was just a table set up around the outside, wasn't there? And at the end,
This is a much bigger show, though.
I know it's a much bigger show, but you would have thought that they might have the same sort of like, is it like a Chikara thing that they do?
If you have to pay a little bit extra to meet Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, and Trent Seven, I may do that.
Do you think you'll do the one sweet twist?
I've got a decent tash at the minute.
I
So
might grow mine for when we go, so I can do that. You
I
can
could-
do that twisty thing.
I could pretend I was a vegan because they're all vegans.
Are they?
Yeah.
I can't pretend that though, because I'll probably have meat.
I'll go like, oh, veganism. Do you want to be friends?
Had some tofu before I came out.
Really, I've been to Greg's. So yeah.
Simon Gotch is going to be there as well.
Simon Gotch.
I really want to try and get a photo or a video of Simon Gotch saying, I listened to the WrestleFriends podcast.
No, hang on. Oh my gosh.
Oh my
I listened to the WrestleFriends podcast.
Oh my gosh, it's the greatest podcast since
Sliced bread.
yeah, that's the one.
So like goals, meet wrestlers because I'll be drunk. You can do it anyway, but
Talk
I'll be
to
drunk.
them.
Talk to wrestlers. Get a wrestler hopefully to do a video message for the WrestleFriends podcast. I feel none of these things would happen, but usually in the past when I've been able to get to drink because I didn't have a child or anything, mental things used to happen that I didn't think would ever happen while I was drunk.
Right.
So I'm feeling that
Like?
I don't know, life's just weird when you're drunk, innit?
As my 4-year-old son told me the other day, life is life.
Life
You've
is
just
life.
got to live it.
You do. So I'm hoping that I can reach those goals, see lots of great wrestling.
It's a cool thing to go away and do though, watching wrestling, isn't it?
I'm quite looking forward to getting drunk on the train.
Train drunk's the best, isn't it? It's like you can go on the train, get a little bit drunk, then once you've got off the train, wandered around and found out where you've sobered up a bit, and you can start again.
Get drunk again.
And then that's kind of like it's a good. Sorry, that was my phone. It's a good trick to do.
I'm gonna download a couple of wrestling shows and we're gonna watch them on the train. It's gonna be awesome.
I've got whilst we're on news, I've got a couple of more exciting news stories. Road Dogg liked one of my tweets.
I saw that.
I thought he's replying a lot to people at the minute because of the whole everyone's saying he should be sacked and stuff, and he's handling it really well, I think.
Why are they saying he should be sacked?
Because apparently SmackDown's not as good as it used to be, and
they're blaming him as
a writer, which I think's a bit shit because a couple of months ago everyone was saying SmackDown was better than Raw, and surely that's the whole point in the brand split.
As much as I love wrestling fans, as I am one, the community is very fickle. So yeah.
Too much trolling, isn't there, going on at the minute with wrestling?
Well, it's what we've talked about before. Just love wrestling. That's all you need to do.
Positive spin on it, though, don't we?
Yeah,
Don't really. Don't come here for trolling.
Well, you've been a little bit like, what's the word, where you do the same thing.
What?
Like hypocritical, because we're nasty to some people. Like
we're only nasty to
Cassius Ohno and Dean Ambrose, and like people like the Ely brothers. I feel we love them.
I feel like we love Cassius Ohno as well. It's just maybe he's comment on his weight a bit.
Anyway,
there are people who don't
but
like
wrestling. You just love wrestling.
Just love wrestling. Love Road Dogg. He's a legend.
He is. Oh, you didn't know?
Your ass better call someone. So I tried to get Billy Gunn to retweet as well, but he's not having any of it.
I don't think he's as nice a man.
I should stop swearing because there's actually children listening to our podcast, and I keep forgetting about that.
But it says explicit on all of the providers, so it's up to their parents.
So I mentioned a friend the other week who messaged us and said his son was really jealous because his son wanted a shout out on the show as well. Which I thought was...
Is that the friend who sent you the
nice
email?
Message, yeah. So, so this is Tony Winship's son, yeah? He's called Justin. So, big up yourself, Justin. This is the WrestleFriends Podcast saying hello.
What up, J-Dog?
He likes, I don't know how old he is. He could be 20 odd for all I know. His favourite superstars are John Cena and Roman Reigns. Which
that suggests he's a youngster, and if he's friends with you. Well, I don't know.
You never know. You don't know. If that's a photo of him down there, I think...
Actually, I know some adults who like Roman Reigns and John Cena as, like, their favourites.
I don't mind John Cena.
No, I like both of them, but they're not my favourites, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I respect them, but they're not my favourites. They're not as good as, like, say, like the Ely brothers or something.
Saw John Cena in a film the other day, actually, which I wasn't expecting.
What was the film called?
It's this film with Will Ferrell in, and him out of Transformers.
Oh, right, yeah. Is it Daddy something?
Daddy something or other.
Aye.
Where this cool dad comes back into this stepdad's life and tries to start being a dad again, with hilarious consequences.
There's always hilarious consequences.
And then at the end, they all make friends. And then the same thing happens to the guy, the real dad, but it's John Cena who pulls up at the end on the motorbike, who is cool, new stepdad. So he gets a bit of a taste of his own medicine with hilarious consequences. Yeah, so that's pretty much all the news I've got. Really happy with Road Dog's response. It's nice to know that people are actually listening to what the little man says.
Road Dog, we salute you. Shall we get into what's the map say?
The map says, and I've even wrote on the top this week, I've ripped the map.
Oh, paper noise.
You thought the table was perfect. I've even wrote the map on. Mark's WrestleThoughts.
My WrestleThoughts. Okay, so I haven't had a chance to watch SummerSlam yet, but I have watched NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3, which took place on the 19th of August 2017.
I bet you love that they number them.
I do.
That it's 3.
I hope that they stay in Brooklyn forever so they can all have numbers. So, first match on the card was Johnny Gargano versus Andrade Cien Almas. Cien won with Hammerlock DDT after Selena Vega threw a DIY shirt at Gargano. I thought it was a fantastic opener, fast paced with lots of false finishes. I thought the booking was clever. Gargano can't continue in his career until he gets Ciampa out of his head, and the Cien rehabilitation is solidified because he gets another win. Can't wait for Gargano and Ciampa. It should headline a takeover, I think.
It definitely.
If they can keep building. Because the reason that they haven't done it so quickly is because Ciampa's been injured.
Yeah, he's injured.
So it's almost meant that the build's like more. So if they can then like get him back on, keep building, get him back on telly, and then like build for another few months, it can headline and take over, I think.
Possibly for a championship. Can you see Johnny Gargano being a future NXT champion?
Well, my question on that that kind of talking about Gargano was, do you think he can be NXT's top babyface?
I think it could be heading that way. Do you want to do, because I've done thoughts on TakeOver as well. Mine aren't usually as extensive as yours. Shall I just chip in with what I thought at the end about them? Because I've put I can't remember her name. What's she called?
Selena Vega.
Yeah, I think and Gargano.
Selena Vega.
Forward, I like that they've done something with their already existing gimmicks without moving too far away from what they were already about.
Well, both characters.
Both characters. I'm really enjoying Andrade Cien Almas at the minute.
He's shit hot in the ring, isn't he?
So good as a heel, and having her around to talk for him, and it's kind of like a Lana Rusev sort of thing when they've done that in NXT.
And what was good is that storyline where he was a bit lazy and he was going out on the piss all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of thought that was going to have no, like, payoff.
End to it.
But she came and, like, gave him a slap in the face and said, look, sort yourself out. That kind of worked.
Yeah. I also said it's given him new life as well, having her around. And Gargano is looking really good. They're both looking really good as single competitor at the minute. I think he could be... Triple H's next golden boy, like top NXT guy.
What I like is,
you know, like in a Finn Balor sort of way.
He's got that, like, I know we're mentioning it quite a lot, but he's got that intangible Daniel Bryanism, like normal, nice guy. He's like, they've got the perfect theme music for him now as well. And
Ciampa could be such a yin to his yang, couldn't he? Like,
well, it's like Owen Zane, isn't it?
Yeah, he's going to be a really good heel when he comes back. He's got the face. We always said he had a good heel face, didn't we? And I think he's going to play that part magnificently well when he gets back. And there's definitely...
They're calling him like Blackheart or something now.
He must have had some sort of gimmick in the past where he was some sort of psychotic.
Oh, it's the Sicilian Psycho.
Yeah.
There was another one as well, Psycho Killer as well.
Yeah, that was the one I heard, Psycho Killer. So he must have some sort of past playing that sort of role. I don't know much about him before he came to NXT. So.
He was in Ring of Honor. He was a heel.
So I didn't even know that. So he must have had that already. So I'm looking forward to it. I don't know how long he's got till he's back, but it'll be really good.
Well, for me, I think with this they need to take the time.
You've got a series of matches,
and I think the gimmick needs to be that Gargano keeps losing because he's like with like Vega throwing a t-shirt in the ring. What other ways could you do it? You could have like you could have him on the
Titantron and stuff like that. Before he comes back, he could just sort of like keep showing up, doing video messages and stuff like that, or he could be interviewed and stuff from his home like they used to do in the past. That'd be really good.
I would say Gargano probably got the biggest pop of the night.
Apart
from the very end.
Really good.
Apart from the very end.
The match was mint. It was a really good match.
It was. Both great in the ring.
You know what it is? There wasn't a bad match at TakeOver.
No. That was it. I've got that written down.
Not one. I just think, and before I go any further with it, it was, I read something the other day. It was Triple H getting interviewed before SummerSlam, and he was being asked questions like, who's your closest rival to WWE, who's they were obviously pushing for the New Japan thing, but he just turned around and said NXT. Nice answer, and nice question dodge.
I think he genuinely sees it as like showing Vince, look, I can be trusted when you decide you want to like retire or die.
It's better in my.
No, I think it's like it's a show for us. And it's what's so clever about it is like WWE programming, like elements of it are for us, but like
you've got the kids,
but NXT is solely for us.
It's almost like they're sort of like indie show, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like they'll get all the independent people in, and then you worry about them going on the main roster because that always happens as well. That's just the sad end.
We're talking about the bottleneck of like, and this is why I enjoy people when they're in NXT so much, and I take every piece of it because you don't know what's going to happen to them. There's the bottleneck. Like I even think at the moment there needs to be so many call-ups from NXT because I think NXT's getting like.
There is, but I'm going to talk about this during my thoughts as well. So if you want to just like.
So I'm going to move on. So the next match was Sanity versus the Authors of Pain for the NXT Tag Team Championship. Sanity win the belts. So Nikki Cross and Killian Dane put Akam through a table. Then Young and Wolfe beat Razor with a kind of heart attack. You remember the Heart Foundation? Yeah. Like their move's kind of like a heart attack style move that they do. I thought there was loads going on here. So Dane started the match, but Young took over. Could that be like the seeds of a Dane face turn?
I don't think so. I think what they're going to do is play on that quite a bit. I thought what was good about this match was it was Sanity as a unit again, and they looked so good together as a unit. Whereas before they were split up and it was sort of like we were losing interest in it. We spoke about it, so it was really good to see them working well as a unit. even at the end, like, it was Nikki Cross sort of sacrificing herself for Killian Dane to come along and do the big belly flop onto the table.
Running crossbody.
Yeah, I thought the old switcheroo was a good, because obviously what they'll want you to think is that Authors of Pain will have prepared for the other competitors, and then all of a sudden it's Eric Young that they probably weren't as prepared for.
Maybe that's what they're going for. It's not going to be like a face thing, it's just the chaos.
Because the whole match from start to finish, which what they've just done really well, it was like chaotic.
Yeah.
Really chaotic.
And that's what, like, I think brings their gimmick back to the to like relevance again. Is they're going for that, like, because it was like a fun brawl.
Yeah.
And Young took the table out from under the ring and stuff. Like, that's what they need to do more, like, hardcore stuff.
It's the only way you were going to get the belt off, like,
numbers game.
A believable way that you're going to get the belt off them two monsters is by this whole chaos numbers game. It was the only way it was going to happen, really, wasn't it?
So I tell you who really impressed this for the first time is Alexander Wolfe in the match. I thought he looked really good.
Yeah.
He hit a flurry of suplexes on AOP when they're, like, absolutely, like I said, huge.
I like the way that he done that, when he jumped over the top rope and it was almost like he was moshing a bit and he's sort of like shoulder, like, first out the ring.
He does a little bit of like a mosh when he comes to the ring, doesn't he?
But he, like, sort of like moshed out of the ring over the top rope. I thought that was a really good move for him.
But it's the first time they'd put any spotlight on him. I thought he was really good. And I didn't realise there were the commentators were speaking, and I presume it was true. They said that he was one of the first people through the door of the, like, performance centre.
Really?
When it opened. So he's been there a long time.
That's cool.
So yeah, like I said, it was a way of AOP losing the belt and not looking weak.
Yeah.
After the match, Fish and O'Reilly attacked everyone. Very, very intense and a welcome addition to the tag division. I think Kyle O'Reilly's facials are really good. He's like quite an intense looking dude.
I like and former Ring of Honor champion, which I think people forget about. I
didn't know he won the main belt.
It was a feud between Cole and him. They actually fought at Wrestle Kingdom, where Cole won the championship back again. But I think they'll be great.
So was the Ring of Honor belt defended at Wrestle Kingdom?
Yeah.
Oh, right,
so
I didn't know
got
that.
the whole mix-up
Cross
thing,
promotion,
which I think they're doing really well.
So what I was going to say is, I think AOP now need to be on the main roster after that.
Yeah.
At some point very soon. How would you have them debut and where?
So
which show and how?
I would have them come to SmackDown, and I would have them attack New Day and make a big impact straight away with the top tag team.
I've got exactly the same down. Go and absolutely
normalise New Day. It would have been better if New Day had kept the belts at SummerSlam and they'd done it that way. I don't really see where giving the Usos the championships back at this point really works.
Especially on the pre-show.
Nah.
And I think, like, when AOP get called up, they need to be not heels or face. They just need to be, like, killers.
Kind of like what they were, because we didn't really have a
I thought Sanity cheered more than AOP, actually.
Eric Young was, when he got in the ring. He got a really big pop when he jumped on the apron.
Yeah.
Which I thought was good, because he's a legend, isn't he? He's deserves it.
He was the longest 10-year TNA wrestler.
So, yeah.
But yeah, like, and like, they can attack New Day, and then when the New Day fight back, there's three of them, so then they can win stuff, and, like, it's the same with Sanity. They don't look weak.
Yeah.
Or you could have Raw, and you could have them as, like, Triple H, like, bodyguards. But then that doesn't you could do that later. I don't know. There's so many possibilities for them. I absolutely love them. I think they're class.
Can you see Paul Ellering doing the whole touring thing?
What do you mean? Like, touring on, like, the main roster tours?
Yeah.
I'm sure he's not at the NXT live shows. I'm sure he's not.
I just think,
if anybody knows that and could let us know, that would be great. But
I just can't see him. He's getting on a bit, isn't he?
Yeah, he's mid-60s, I think.
And you don't know if he's still into the whole travelling thing.
But on television, you could just have him on television. Like, your casual fan doesn't know the difference.
Only time will tell. We'll see where they go with that.
So next was Aleister Black versus Hideo Itami, which was my match of the night.
I enjoyed this, and I read some comments somewhere saying this was the worst match of the night, and from the opening seconds of this match I was really enjoying it, and I love Aleister Black. He's my favourite.
I know. Yeah. He's a new guy.
He's my new top guy, and I love his entrance as well.
Black, yeah, it was cool. Black wins with the Black Mass after a brutal hard-hitting striking contest.
Very kicky. Match
of the night for me with great moves. At one point, Black did a springboard moonsault Pele kick.
Oh, it was beautiful, wasn't it? It was so good.
And you know, not to be outdone, Itami did an avalanche Michinoku driver from the top rope. I think Black's got to go on a feud for the title soon.
Yeah, I thought
It's him, McIntyre, Strong, Cole. Probably. I
thought the way that they were doing it, because the Ring of Honor guys actually debuted against Aleister Black, and I said to Jake, I had this pinned, like when I said that, when I heard that.
Did he beat both of them? Did he wrestle?
I'm sure he debuted against.
Because I've seen the fish match.
They both debuted against Aleister Black, and I thought what they were going to do was do the whole gang up against Aleister Black, which I was wrong about.
Because he won both of those matches.
He won both of them, yeah. So.
Might be that though. So Black's, like you said, Black's entrance was cool. He was played at the ring by Orange something, is it?
So yeah.
Did his theme song.
They opened the show as well. And I thought that was another thing that set NXT apart from the main roster, having the rock bands, because they haven't done that for ages in WWE.
When I was watching Black's entrance, with the band and the like raising up after the coffin, all I could think was WrestleMania. Like imagine that at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Like it's
very Undertaker.
Spoogy. Punch Spoogy.
I hope they do this thing where they just doesn't talk ever. You know, like just keep him mysterious, keep him dark.
He doesn't need his talk.
Don't try and like overdo it, because what he's doing at the minute, he's just letting his work in the ring do all the talking, and his entrance. In the same way as the Undertaker was a big entrance, and just let his moves talk in the ring.
He's pretty awesome, like. Itami's losing gimmick that he's had recently is, you know, I'm not sure where they're going with that, but his actual match quality, the last 2 or 3 matches have been like awesome, but I'm not sure what they're going to do with him.
I don't know. I think I'll mention this later on.
205 Live, like you said before.
Yeah, so I'll talk about it in my thoughts.
So how would you book Aleister Black's path to the NXT title? So you're at the point now, you've got Drew McIntyre as the champion. You've got other people in the mix. How would you go?
So you've got McIntyre, who's the face. You've got Adam Cole, who's going to be the heel, and you've got Aleister Black, who's the face. I think
Roderick Strong's going to be in there because he's probably going to beat Roode on his way out.
Well, you're going to have maybe it's another little sort of tournament style thing where they face off with each other. That maybe he gets screwed out of by Adam Cole's little henchman, and then he could have a feud with them for a bit.
Is that you?
That's my phone ringing again. Sorry.
That's alright, I was just checking it's mine, it wasn't mine.
And then you could have maybe Adam Cole pick up the title from McIntyre at some point. Through shenanigans, which would then lead to the Adam Cole Aleister Black.
So that's the match. That's a match you would go with Adam Cole and Aleister Black.
Yep.
Would McIntyre have a long reign before that? Would this be over like 6 months or something?
This would be over a long period of time. But I think I would have McIntyre hold on to that belt for quite some time. Maybe it's the same amount of time as Bobby Roode had.
That's another thing I like about NXT is that champions tend to be champions for a while.
Bobby Roode's been in NXT for a little over a year, and he's had the title for a large percentage of that time. And I think they need to do that with McIntyre. He's came in quite quickly and won the championship. Quick.
Yeah.
Let him keep it for a while, and if you've seen the size, I don't remember how big McIntyre was. He's humongous,
and he's physically bigger than he was when he was, because he was only 21 when he debuted.
Yeah.
So, but he's an absolute beast.
So, and he looks great. I would let him hold on to it for a while. That's how I would do it.
Cool. So, next match was Asuka versus Ember Moon. For the NXT Women's Championship match.
I was shocked at the result of this.
I presume you went to the toilet, or?
I had a cheese toasty. No, I really did.
So bad. Anyway, since you had to choose towards the alpha in. So Asuka wins as Moon taps out of the Asuka lock. It was really good booking because I was convinced that Moon was going to win this one.
I was as well.
So they caught me off guard. It's the best match that they've had. They've had matches in the past. I thought this one was really good. Asuka hit a brutal suplex on the ramp, which was really nice. And she kicked out of the Eclipse, which was the first time I think that's being done.
I hate it when they do that though.
What, like?
Make that finishers seem like...
Not as good.
Yeah.
Well, that was it. Like, her finishers, like... They even played it up when they did the thing a few months ago with Billie Kay when she, like, rocked her jaw and they had to, like, take her out on a stretcher. Like, it's kind of just undoing all of that, isn't it?
Devalues the finishing manoeuvre.
I know. But then again, they have that on, you know, when you say you've got John Cena versus Roman Reigns as a match, John Cena will kick out of, like, Roman Reigns' spear 8 times. Roman Reigns will kick out the like 20 times.
If they do fight each other at WrestleMania, that match is going to go on forever because they'll just keep kicking out of each other's moves.
I think it'll be the most booed match that's ever happened in the history of the world. Right, so where was I up to? So Asuka pulled the ref in front of her for the second Eclipse, which she's done in the past, which like puts Ember Moon over. So like she's the only one that Asuka's got to cheat against.
Yeah.
Which makes her look strong. So that was clever. They should have a third match, but they now can't because I found out this morning she broke a collarbone in that match. Yep.
So.
But that's a perfect way to get.
How do they do this then? Is she gonna have to give the title, hand it over? Do you think?
Well, no. I say they do it quietly.
Mhm.
It's 6 to 8 weeks recovery. They take at least 3 months. Because Asuka's been wrestling a pretty full-on schedule for like 2 years now.
Yeah.
Because she's been on all the live shows. So they give her like 3 or 4 months to heal properly. Then they quietly just have the belt on, like, not on NXT television. She debuts on the main roster, then they have a tournament or something.
Yeah.
Like, don't make a big song and dance about it, because it's the way you can get it off Asuka, and then they can play up on WWE TV how much of like a 2-year dominant reign she's had.
Do you think it's a real injury, or do you think it's a work? Because
it might be. That might be the only way out of it.
Because the only way she could go on the main roster undefeated is injury, surely.
Maybe it is a work. They haven't done. They've done stuff like that before. It's their way of doing it quietly and like.
Yeah.
Without having.
Plus, you've got the Mae Young Classic. Like, what do you win if you win that tournament?
Maybe they could not just like there was cruiserweight champion, wasn't it, for the cruiserweight classic? So like a trophy, but maybe they could get entry into this
championship shot. Maybe maybe
at a
takeover, and then against Ember Moon. She deserves that because obviously she was number 1 contender anyway, and then you've got the winner of the tournament against her.
Yeah.
Thought.
I think it would be even better if you had Ember Moon in the tournament and she got the final against the winner of the Mae Young Classic.
Yeah.
And you could have the Mae Young Classic winner wrestle on NXT television and like in a few squash matches to like proper put her over. Good thoughts.
Good thoughts.
So next we had Bobby Roode versus Drew McIntyre for the NXT Championship. McIntyre wins with the Claymore running kick, which I found out is named after a type of Scottish double-edged sword.
Really? So not a haggis?
So not a haggis. Haggis is beautiful though.
I've never had haggis. I've had a haggis. They sell, you know, interesting fact, when you're in different parts of the country, Greggs sell different things. So like, we get stotty here, and don't sell stotty elsewhere. And then if you go to Greggs in Scotland, they do a haggis pie, which you don't do here. And I had one of them once, yeah.
Beautiful.
With turnip on the top.
My friend Kevin, when he was doing his doctorate, lived in Glasgow, and he used to make us, when I used to go over and stay, when we used to go out drinking, he used to make us sausage and haggis sandwiches.
Ooh.
And they were pretty special. On a sandwich.
Interesting haggis thoughts.
Haggis thoughts. Yeah, so Claymore, Scottish sword. It was a great main event match. It had like a main event WWE feel, like not like showy, but just like solid. McIntyre did a somersault plancha over the top rope at one point, which for somebody his size is pretty impressive.
Really good. Like, I couldn't believe that happened.
Roode's been a great champion. I've really enjoyed his championship reign. Has to be on the main roster now.
Yeah.
I say because the previous NXT, it was a match that if Roderick Strong won against Drew McIntyre, then he gets Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode just like interfered and attacked both of them at the end, so it was a no contest. But I think that Roderick Strong Bobby Roode feud has to come to an end.
Yeah.
Strong goes over and then Roode goes up.
Yeah, I think you've got a couple of weeks left of Bobby Roode being in NXT.
Them two, like Strong and Roode can attack each other backstage, things like that.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we can have some stop, no moments.
Hopefully, because I haven't got any this week.
I was disappointed. I was really disappointed. I don't know if there was any on SummerSlam, but I haven't had a chance to watch it yet.
No stop, no. I haven't seen any of Raw this week neither. There might have been some on there.
So where was it up to? Yeah, so finish your feud with Roderick Strong. So after the match, which was the most important part of the whole show, Fish, O'Reilly and Adam Cole, baby, attacked McIntyre. Not Roode, but just McIntyre, I seem to remember.
No, Bobby Roode sort of slipped out of the ring.
That's my NXT over with. I'm gone now.
And then you could see the crowd getting very excited.
Yeah,
you knew it was coming because...
So they must have come through the crowd from the very top. Yeah, they must have come
through the crowd. And I sent you a photo of Adam Cole with...
It was Pete Dunne, Gargano, a couple of others.
Yeah, and I think Roderick Strong was on it. They were all in the airport together.
Pete Dunne was on the pre-show, by the way.
Was he?
So the next NXT, but they have a few matches that were on for the next NXT.
Ah, right.
So he's going to be on the pre-show.
What was I saying again? So yeah, we knew it was coming. We thought it might have just been a Bobby Roode, Drew McIntyre sort of crowd shot.
Yeah.
So it was a big, nice surprise when they done this whole
what I like?
On a feud group thing.
What I like what they do is they do how it says NXT 2017 trademarks as if it's ending,
and then
they have, because they did that with Gargano as well. That was class.
Yeah. So majorly exciting. I had this sicky feeling in my stomach knowing that it was coming because I'd read about it before it happened, and it was still as exciting even knowing that it was going to happen. I'm a big fan of Adam Cole. I love the stuff he's done in Ring of Honor with Bullet Club. I've been watching him for quite some time now. He's such a good in-ring performer. He's good on the mic. I think he'll make a brilliant heel replacement for Bobby Roode because he's got to be going up the main roster. And I like the way they've done it as a group, like a mob from Ring of Honor sort of style. It was really good.
So, Adam Cole, I've been a fan of his since 2010.
Wow.
He was the Combat Zone Wrestling Light Heavyweight Champion as the Panama Playboy Adam Cole.
Yeah.
What you might not know, he was actually trained at the Combat Zone Wrestling School.
Okay.
So,
I know that.
It's not just death matches that actually produce some
awesome
wrestlers. Someone online when I was reading yesterday called this group Men of Honor.
Men of Honor?
What do you think?
I think it needs to be.
What would you call them? I like it, Men of Honor.
Men of Honor.
It's like a little nudge, wink, wink, isn't it?
I like the way that actually referenced that he'd been Ring of Honor. Did you hear? What's the British guy called?
Oh, Nigel Mcguinness.
Because he was actually at Ring of Honor for a lot of the time.
He was
Cole was
an absolutely class wrestler as well. If anyone hasn't seen any of his stuff, check him out.
He was obviously commentating at Ring of Honor before, so he was calling a lot.
I think he was poached directly from Ring of Honor.
Yeah, and I think that they thought he was going to have more of a backstage role, and then he actually ended up doing the commentary on the British tournament thing, special, and then obviously NXT after that.
Just going to stop you a second. In terms of commentators, Percy Watson can fuck off. I'm sick of him. Anyway, continue.
What was I saying again? I'm sure that actually referenced that he'd been a 3-time Ring of Honor champion, and he was shouting his Ring of Honor catchphrases like Adam Cole, baby.
You can make some money on that as well.
I hope they don't change his name. I hope they stick
They're
with
not
the
going
Adam
to.
Cole.
They're not going to change it.
Adam Cole, baby.
They don't do that now. And you can't copyright that. It's not like a broken Matt Hardy situation.
So yeah, I thought it was good.
I think with this little group we should get some awesome 6-man tags.
Yeah, I would like a 6-man. You know what they're doing?
Main event.
The 6-man tag titles like they've got in Ring of Honor.
Bit much for NXT having a. But it would be something different, I guess. And you could have a tournament. Everyone loves a tournament.
Everyone loves a tournament.
Because you can get my fondest memories recently were like the UK Championship and the Cruiserweight Classic. I'm looking forward to the Mae Young Classic as well. I mean, you won't be. That's a lot of sandwiches.
No, just go and eat a big sandwich.
I'll tell you all about it. Don't worry.
I could get one of them monster sandwiches. You know, the ones that they make in America, where
the one Homer Simpson had that he used to go to bed with, and he kept getting it out the bin and stuff.
Burrito off Wee Bear Bears, which is what I call it.
So my last WrestleThought was that Leo Rush has been signed to NXT.
Yeah, that was one of my thoughts. He's a Ring of Honor guy, isn't he?
He's CZW.
I thought he came from Ring of Honor.
He's wrestled in Ring of Honor, but he's CCW heavyweight champion he's been.
Yeah.
And he used to be tag champs in Maryland Pro Wrestling, which is just a local with Patrick Clark.
Maryland?
Yeah.
Sounds like a toffee.
It's a place in America, I think. I might be wrong. But he was tag champs with Patrick Clark.
Oh, great.
But his gimmick's kind of like sort of demon-y. It's like Finn Balor kind of demon gimmick.
I don't know much about him. I've seen that
he's absolutely awesome.
I've seen that he'd been signed and I heard that he was good, but one for the future. They get lots of new talent.
If you want to check out Leo Rush, try and watch Joey Janela, the bad boy, versus Leo Rush.
Will do.
Text
me it later.
That gives you a good... but yeah, he's really exciting and I'm looking forward to what NXT do with him. I think they could change his name because he's not very well known. So they could do a complete...
Makeover.
Not like a makeover because he's... The way he looks...
Maybe he's put him with Patrick and see how that works.
He's not that kind of...
No.
I wouldn't want to see him go in with the... I love Velveteen Dream because I love a gimmick and it makes us laugh and it's a big part of wrestling. But I want a bit more for Leo Rush.
Right. We'll see. Is that the end of your WrestleThoughts?
That's the end of my WrestleThoughts.
Right, well, let's refer to the map. It's time for my WrestleThoughts.
Nice.
I didn't really chip in with my NXT TakeOver thought,
Do
apart
it.
from with one thing.
Do
So
it.
mine are very brief because I was just writing notes as I was watching it. So I've talked about Gargano and Almas. I've done that. Asuka, I was surprised, as you were, but we've talked about that, and I think that we've come up with a good solution to that problem. I really enjoyed Author of Pain's new ring gear.
Yeah, the green
entrance.
camo.
I thought it was really cool. I think...
Would you go green camo on main roster?
I thought, that's what I said to Jake. I said, I bet that's the main roster gear.
I like when they have the desert helmets type thing with the red eyes.
Yeah, that was cool. Loved the bit where Eric Young joined the match. We've already talked about that. And then the attack from the Ring of Honor boys, which was brilliant. Which I didn't actually, because obviously I'd heard that Adam Cole had arrived, but I didn't hear that they'd also interrupted in other matches as well. So they're obviously going straight in for all the championships, which would be great.
Yeah. I'd like to see them have all the belts. That would be cool. Men of Honor.
MOH. Tommy Dunn in NXT. I've got a question mark next to that. He's getting beat quite a bit.
These matches have been good though.
They have been good, but I just don't know. They don't seem to know what to do with them.
He was running around the ring shouting, "Respect me!" Hang on, respect me!
Respect me!
Respect me!
Respect me and my people. No, that was bad.
No, it was fine. I want to just do more racist Japanese stuff now. Anyway, no.
I seen a nice picture of him on Instagram with Shinsuke Nakamura. Japanese together. Yeah.
Could Nakamura work as a heel?
I think it'd be a fantastic heel.
What about Itami and Nakamura as a heel?
Japanese tag team.
Heel, not tag team. A heel faction. So Nakamura wrestling for the belt, but like Itami being outside the ring with these, you know how he has the suit and the loafers with no socks?
Yeah.
But like being his running mate.
Who else could be in that stable?
Just the two of them. It can be like a Yakuza style, like.
I think Nakamura was a heel in Japan for a bit.
That's where I would go. But I think what they're gonna do is put him on 205 Live, and I'd like him Neville and Itami. Thumbs up for that one.
Thumbs up for that one, and also it would give 205 Live a much needed kick up the arse. I started watching an episode of it the other day whilst having breakfast because there was nothing else to watch, and I thought it was a bit pap. But we've talked about this before, and we know what needs doing. WWE don't seem to.
I think Itami going on to 205 Live.
Itami, Enzo could go on it.
We've talked about this before. There's loads of them. Roderick Strong.
Roderick Strong could go on it. Just do it. Stop putting them on Raw as well. Just let them have their own thing going on. Or
NXT's so over. There's all the NXT t-shirts and stuff on the website, and obviously massive touring brand. They don't have a syndicated television show.
Yeah.
So 205 Live can work just as well like that.
Of course it can.
Because the NXT proved that you can do it. You know what they need to do? They need to give you know how Triple H has got NXT? Mm-hmm. They need to give 205 Live to a road agent like. Who knows what they're doing? Like Finlay, they could give 205 Live to Finlay. Yeah. Imagine like the kind of matches you're gonna get with Drew Gulak and Itami, like, and Neville absolutely like beating the shit out of each other because Finlay loves the like.
And then
aggressive
also,
style.
if there was a big breakout backstage, we'd get lots of Finlay stop no-nos, which would also be just as good. Stop no. You don't need to do that, boy. Stop it.
No.
Stop it, no.
Stop it, no.
I've got a solid championship match. Brilliant championship match. Roode and what's his face? Macaz. Gotta be Roode's ticket to the main roster. I read something Dave Meltzer, God of knowing things, said about Roode. Apparently he's very highly thought of in the WWE. In the WWE, obviously even his entrance is over. He's thought of as a top 5 guy apparently on the main roster, which would put him straight in the main event.
That's a main. You cannot debut that gimmick and it not be main event.
And it's gonna look great, isn't he? He's just gonna go in with the same crack, isn't he? Like, I am glorious with
like
his
Raw,
suit,
like Raw is mine type thing.
With these expensive suits, and he's sort of like chip on his shoulder that he's the best.
It's like it is. It's like Ric Flair.
I was going to say it's almost very Ric Flair-y styling, profiling, and wearing an expensive suit.
Do you know what's so good about what they do with like the likes of Roode and AJ Styles and like these people are so seasoned to the point where like it's just money. You don't have to do anything.
It's NXT just do so well. Like we've talked about before, they do so like
that. It's been a Roode repackage as well, really.
Yeah, he was like beer money, wasn't he? Yeah. It was like. He was the money in Beer Money, but like he was still a bit.
It
more
wasn't
rough,
this Ric Flair character.
Rough and ready sort of money, wasn't he? With Beer Money. I'm happy for McIntyre to come back to the company and win a major championship so quick. He was first time round. All he ever used to hear was he's Vince McMahon's chosen one, and then he just disappeared.
It's a good story.
It's
the fact he's come back and he's like humble.
Yeah.
He's like put on a bit size. He's like seasoned veteran.
But the big story of the night was obviously the arrival of Adam Cole, which we've already talked about. I love that they've came as a unit. It reminds us so much of when Eddie Guerrero, Benoit, and Perry Saturn and all them came over. It was a genius move to do that, and if they do the Men of Honor thing, then that'll be their thing, obviously, and it'll be a nice nod to Ring of Honor as well. And it might even get, it's not like Ring of Honor can be upset about that, because people who don't know what Ring of Honor are will then maybe go and check Ring of Honor out, so it could be a good thing for everyone.
They must have some sort of working relationship now. You
would have thought so.
The amount of people that have gone on to WWE from Ring of Honor.
They are mentioning different companies more. They talk about the new, how many times people have been New Japan champion. They talk about, I've even heard them reference TNA on different sorts of media and stuff like that.
I was reading a review of Kevin Owens' DVD, Like the typical like interview and then 2 discs of matches.
Yeah.
Which I think I might get. But they do loads of stuff about Ring of Honor and that, like actual footage from matches. Like he talks about Sami Zayn being El Generico and stuff like that. Like they have started loads.
Yeah.
Because before it was just like nothing else exists.
I think it'd be a good thing.
Once again, that's got to be Triple H influence. That
having
though.
a good relationship with these other companies is going to be beneficial in the long run for surely, like things like DVDs and stuff like that. I would be more inclined to go and buy a Kevin Owens DVD if I knew it would have his earlier Ring of Honor stuff on it as well.
Yeah.
Whereas at the minute, I can just go and check everything out on the network. And I don't need to go and buy a DVD. Surely since the network came out, DVD sales have took a dive.
Yeah, but they're still kicking them out. But
they're still kicking them out, but you've got to.
But I don't buy them. I used to buy them all the time.
Well, that's it. I never bought one for years.
Because all I would do is go online, right, what matches are on this DVD? I'll search up them all on the network, and then that's it.
So, yeah, they need that. I hope that is a Triple H thing, because eventually Vince will go senile and not know.
It's got to be a Triple H. Like, there are companies, they don't even exist. Like, Triple H going, hang on.
I heard he didn't even think AJ Styles would get a reaction at the Royal Rumble because he didn't think anyone would know who he was. Mental.
And I like how in interviews, like I've seen that, I can't remember what, I think was it on one of the podcasts AJ said that, it was on the Edge and Christian, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Edge and Christian.
Like, I love the way that they like laugh it off, like I wasn't bothered, but it's like you would be annoyed, wouldn't you?
Do you not think they're starting to just see him as a bit of a stupid old man now, and like, he's probably going to be wetting his pants soon. That's the end of my NXT thoughts, but I've got other thoughts as well. Here's a new feature. It's Wrestle Heat. Hot, hot, ooh, we got it. Hot, hot, ooh, we got it. It seems like every week now someone's got Wrestle Heat. This week's Wrestle Heat is Baron Corbin.
I've not even stopped. I've not even mentioned that.
What's going on? So he's rising to the top, which is great. He's going up and up and up and up. We've enjoyed his rise to the top, and then all of a sudden he's like, Money in the Bank was a complete waste of time. And he's getting beat off John Cena at SummerSlam.
So how did they do it again? He cashed it in.
He cashed it in, but it seemed to take a while for him to do it. So he'd sort of went in and hit John Cena with the briefcase. And then, I think, who was he wrestling again? Cena?
Was it not Jinder?
Possibly.
Must have been, because...
Jinder was down because F5, possibly. I can't remember off the top of my head. Not F5. What's it called? AA. He walks back up the ramp, and then he decides to come back down and cash in. So obviously it's taken a while already. And then by the time Jinder gets up, it's even longer. And then John Cena's on the apron, I think. I can't remember. Seems like ages ago. And then all Jinder done was roll him up, and that was it. Distraction by Cena.
Do you know the other other person?
Cena played a good heel at that point as well. He was laughing about it.
We're going to go back to the John Cena heel thing again.
John Cena being heel.
The only other person who's messed up their Money in the Bank cash-in was Damien Sandow. So
it's not looking good, is it?
Not looking good.
And then he gets beat off Cena at SummerSlam.
Was it clean? I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I read that it didn't seem like there was any shenanigans. So you know how this is the Heat section.
Heat section.
Mm-hmm. Do you know? Is there any rumours about what he's done or?
I read about it this morning. Had a look at it. He's very active on Twitter. He riles people up. So he said something about Finn Balor apparently about him being small.
Right.
Apparently,
and the higher ups aren't going to be happy about that because that's someone they're ploughing money into.
Mojo Rawley as well, he had something to say about, which Mojo Rawley responded.
I wouldn't want to fight Mojo, like.
He responded about Baron Corbin being poor on the microphone, which I thought was quite funny. And apparently I think the final nail in the coffin was he had something to say about a veteran. Which WWE aren't going to have at all, which he obviously got forced to apologise about. So yeah, I think his heat's coming from being overly vocal on social media.
I think he's the type of guy that they'll come back round to though.
Hopefully, because I was enjoying what they were doing with him, and I actually thought at one point he was going to come out with SummerSlam champion.
You say he's got heat, but he still wrestled on SummerSlam in a high profile match, like.
Yeah, he did. John Cena doesn't get bigger than John Cena, and he won the Money in the Bank. And
all it needs is a few weeks to rehabilitate him. But
Yeah.
there's definitely, like you say, there's definitely something going on.
he's being punished for something. Also, Rusev, while we're talking about heat,
He said something on Twitter, didn't
he said something about Sasha Banks not signing
shaking
things,
hands with people.
shaking hands with fans. Don't really know what Sasha Banks does. I've got no idea.
She's apparently not very like communicative with fans, like in airports and stuff. So I'm just gonna put it out there, right? So, as a person, I'm quite like private, and I have quite a lot of anxiety about talking to people.
Yeah.
And I would find that so hard. Say you'd flown somewhere and it's 2 o'clock in the morning in the airport, I'd be hiding. I wouldn't want to talk to anyone.
Yeah.
I'd try not to be rude if I could, but like, I have a lot of sympathy for a lot of them, for where they come from.
I think, obviously, because they're like a travelling band of people anyway, and they don't really get much rest, I can imagine them not being in the best of battles half the time anyway. So, and they do a lot of physical work and stuff like that. They're not going to be like in great moods in airports and stuff like that, I would have thought.
I would always try and remind myself, like, I've got a fantastic opportunity and these people like pay for me to do what I love. But like, there's got to be times where you would be like,
Rusev should have probably kept his trap shut though, because it looks like
well, didn't Orton beat him in like
10 seconds.
10 seconds.
He got beat off Cena. He's had the worst year ever. Really.
You remember when he went undefeated for a year? He's class Rusev as well. I really like him. Like, he's so good in the ring.
It seems like he's getting punished for something as well.
Maybe that was it.
Can't have just been that though, surely. Like,
it's all like things that in the connecting. Like, they were obviously planning, because Sasha won the belt, so they're obviously planning for her to like be front and center again.
Yeah. You must have thought at some point that SmackDown were going to do something with Rusev as well, because he'd done the whole "I'm not coming to SmackDown unless I get a title shot," and they're just sort of like, maybe that was bad writing again by Road Dogg. How about Road Dogg?
Lana's being presented as a joke as well.
Lana seems to be going to manage someone else now.
Tamina?
Can't remember who. Something like that. I wouldn't like to see that, I don't think. I want to see them back together.
I didn't think she was disgraceful in the ring. She was passable.
She could have done with a few more smaller matches before they chucked her straight into the championship match, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyone else on your heat?
I've got no more heat. Well, maybe we'll return to backstage heat next week.
Yeah, definitely. I think we should make it a... We're a right bunch of wrestling gossip queens.
There was rumours of an Undertaker return because he got spotted at the airport going to Brooklyn, going to New York anyway. I don't think this is...
I'd be gutted if he came back.
I'd put this... Jake said he would love him to come back for one more match. I said, no, you silly 11-year-old boy.
It's like...
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels, like, kind of career has got legitimacy because he said, right, I'm retiring, and I have. Mick Foley's properly retired now, like... I think
they've done it well as well.
They did it, and like what they did, it was cheaping it. Like they did it. I didn't expect him to retire at WrestleMania because I hadn't hyped it up. So and the way that they did it out of nowhere, and the way he left his leg coat in the ring, that needs to be it. I'd be happy for him to speak.
I would be happy for him to come back as a managerial sort of role, not like active
or endorsing someone.
Yeah, not active in the ring, or maybe he's an ambassador for WWE. In a way that Triple H is, maybe just have him do something like that. But like,
I don't think you can because Undertaker's gimmick, like the stoic, like
but the gimmick's dead.
You
doesn't mean that Mark Calloway is dead. You know, he could.
I think he's so legendary. I don't know if he can be that like.
But they've done American Badass.
Yeah, I'll just will forget about that because it was dreadful. We'll see why they did it.
I could see him coming back. Because they've done the whole Ministry of Darkness thing. Maybe he could come back as a managerial sort of role and have a sort of protege, son of the Undertaker or something like that. Ooh, juicy.
His Hall of Fame, when he goes in the Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame?
Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame. That's what
right.
it's called. I'm tired. When he goes in the Hall of Fame, it can't just go in. Something needs to happen that weekend with the Undertaker. You can't have Undertaker at WrestleMania and something not happen.
He has a fun game to play as well. Whilst we're on to Ministry of Darkness, Triple H has been in many a faction. Now, you don't remember all of the factions he's been in, because the ones that immediately pop into your head is DX and Evolution. Can you name all of Triple H's factions?
DX, Evolution.
That's 2.
Corporation.
Corporation, yeah.
Corporate Ministry.
Yeah.
Oh.
One more.
Uh-huh.
It's a bit of a cheeky one, though. McMahon Helmsley regime.
McMahon Helmsley regime. Right, remind us of that.
That was when they'd done...
Him and his wife were in charge.
Yeah.
Not counting it.
Can you not count that?
No.
What about... Can you count...
Because the McMahon Helmsley regime, the DX were there.
Can you count the Authority? They were like a faction.
The Authority. Yeah. Who was in the... So Authority was...
Kane.
Yeah, it was. That's
Seth,
a faction, yeah. Kane, Seth, Triple H.
Randy.
Steph. Randy, yeah. You can't count that.
Can we
So the Authority 5.
Why can't you count the McMahon Helmsley?
It's just him and his wife. And
well,
DX.
No, because
DX were there.
As well.
DX were there, so it's DX.
But so were the guys from WCW. Remember they came and joined?
Who?
Guerrero and Benoit and that.
Were they in? Were they like?
They sort of teamed up, didn't they?
Were they like Triple H henchmen?
It was like feuding at first, but then they sort of like joined.
Yeah, can't have it.
Can't have it. No.
Authority definitely.
Just wondering.
Maybe.
If you have any other Triple H factions, let us know.
Or if you agree or disagree that the McMahon Helmsley, because it was the McMahon Helmsley era, they called it.
Or what about when he teamed up with Austin? What were they called again?
I don't know. The big lads, the top guys. I don't know.
Top guys.
By the way, it's pretty sad that it's Dash Wilder's injured now.
I know.
Dawson was out for a couple of months now. Wilder.
I think the Revival are doomed.
I think
doomed for a bit.
But it's like they went for 2 years in NXT, no injuries.
I think when they bring the Revival back, they should maybe shove them onto SmackDown for a bit.
They have good matches there. Anyone are so good. And they'll be fresh.
Anyway, speaking of changes, I've got a list of people who are apparently coming up to the main roster. I've got an actual photograph of an actual list.
Is this like hearsay and conjecture? But we can play with it.
I'm just doing gossip again.
Where did you get the photograph from?
It was a website. So...
Well, we'll just do it for fun.
We'll just do it for funsies. I've got a list of people. Bobby Roode, who we thought...
Yeah, we've done that.
Yeah, where would you put him?
Straight in. I would... I'd keep him away from Strowman. I'd keep him away from Lesnar. I would...
Top guy on SmackDown would be good.
I would have him challenge Cena. I think that would be a good match.
It looks like Cena's going to Raw. He was on Raw last night.
He's got this free agent thing though, hasn't he?
Yeah. So, Authors of Pain, which we've talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Shelton Benjamin coming back.
Shelton Benjamin, where would I put him?
I think he's already rostered. I think he's already sort of like pinned for SmackDown.
Who would I have him wrestle? Ziggler?
Maybe he's... surely he's got to be coming back just to put people over. I don't know.
He's good. Shelton Benjamin's really good.
Hideo Itami.
205 Live.
About time.
Neville.
This fucking... Sorry. No way, Jose.
No way, Jose.
He's going to get lost in the mix, him, isn't he?
I would put him on Raw. I think Elias is doing pretty well. It's a similar gimmick. Do you think Elias... Did you prefer Elias?
I do. I think Elias has a longer life span than Dancy.
They put him over. He beat up R-Truth this week, so they're still putting Elias over. But yeah, I agree with you. No Way Jose opening match, like, fodder.
What are you gonna do in No Way Jose? He's not great on the microphone. You
know who he'll be? Funny WrestleMania comedy segment.
Alright. Do you think he'll be like Santino?
Could you have him as a host, like, in the long run?
No, because he can't talk on the microphone.
He's not very good, is he?
No.
At talking.
And he's funny looking. He's like, he's like so tall and like, it's not like, it's weird. It's not like your usual wrestler physique. He's like
comedy open match wrestler. He'll dance in the crowd. People are like that.
But what for? Would you have him on a WrestleMania card? Really?
You be in the Andre the Giant Battle Royale.
You will. That's where his future will. And I was surprised at this one. Peyton Royce and Billy Kay.
Ooh. I would put them straight on Raw, and they'd attack Sasha Banks together.
Right.
They'd be attacking people.
I would have them stay on NXT for a while.
Would you? Nah, they've been there for ages. You could have loads of vignettes with them, like talking shit about people. You know, have the hand cam kind of thing.
They should
on
continue
NXT.
with that if they're going to go on the main roster. And maybe not even have them wrestle for a while. Just do daft stuff like that backstage. And they were also at NXT Takeover in Daniel Bryan's ear, if you noticed.
Yeah. I think they could be so good.
Roderick Strong was up there as well, talking to Kurt Angle, I noticed as well. Can't think.
Wouldn't put him on Raw.
I don't think it's Roddy's time yet. Like, I think he needs a bit more.
You could have. I can't see him ever winning the NXT Championship, but they keep doing this like underdog story, so maybe. But I think the story that they're doing for Roderick Strong would be better for Gargano. He's more of a likable babyface with a personality.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know about Roderick Strong.
That was a nice list.
That was a nice list, but no, what I was going to say, if you had to make any changes to the roster that already exists, where would you have people shift to now?
Who would I shift from?
Because if there's going to be
Raw
a
and SmackDown?
shake-up, I think we're going to have maybe this week's SmackDown, and I think there'll be an announcement soon about a shake-up.
Who would I shift across?
Would you move anyone? There's a few I would move.
Tell us yours.
I would put Finn on SmackDown. I would put Gallows and Anderson on SmackDown.
But then you've got AJ, Gallows and Anderson, and Finn on SmackDown.
We'll do what you will with that, but I think they need a change. Gallows and Anderson desperately need a change.
100%. Not even in the equation for the tag championship at the minute, are they?
Nah. Who would I have come from SmackDown? Dolph Ziggler needs a change.
205 Live.
Yeah.
Back to NXT. Well, on NXT, he was never on.
Who have we got at the minute in SmackDown? I'm not thinking straight.
Jinder could drop the belt and go to Raw.
He just came though, hasn't he? He just came in the last one.
Yeah.
I don't think Jinder's going to drop that belt anytime soon.
No, I'm excited about it. What's good is that we're now talking about Jinder as moving across as a big player.
I think it would be very exciting if they started using the Bollywood Boys as a tag team again, and maybe that it was them who attacked Breezango. They could have some good matches together, I think.
I don't see why they're not using the Bollywood Boys as wrestlers.
No.
Well, the Singh brothers as wrestlers. Like, they're good in the ring, and that adds an extra thing to Jinder's faction, doesn't it? If they're like wrestling.
I think
as well.
Should be them that attacked
Breezango,
because no one's even seeing that coming. I can't think off the top of my head anyone that I would bring. I can't think of anyone who wrestles for SmackDown. Dolph Ziggler's the only one who's not really getting used at the minute, isn't he?
Move him.
The only other one is you could maybe move AJ over to Raw and see how that works out.
You could do.
I
don't think I'd move that much at the moment.
I think it's too soon for a shake-up. I would maybe boost some people. You know who might benefit, who should never have been moved in the first place, is Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, we talked about that, didn't we?
Should have been part of SmackDown.
Because he lost the Demon
I worry
Finn,
now that there's that many people, that good talent, getting shoved up to the main roster that someone's going to suffer.
Do you know what that loss is telling me? So I presume he lost clean to Demon Finn.
I think so.
So that's telling me that the Demon Finn, like,
is a better demon.
Is like that's your horror story that's stronger than the Wyatt thing because he lost clean again.
I don't know.
I don't think there's much. They're really going to struggle to rehabilitate Bray now. He's lost consistently over about 4 years. He's lost pretty much every feud.
And apparently they're repackaging Rowan and Harper as a tag team, but different gimmick to try and separate them from the whole Wyatt family thing.
Yeah, I'd like to see them two back together.
To see them back together,
I don't know what they would do though.
I don't know. Because I don't know what they would do with that. I think we're in desperate need of some new tag teams.
Well, they're all on NXT.
I know. But even if you've got NXT now, and
could you not have Heavy Machinery jump the queue?
Well, no, because then NXT's going to suffer for a little bit.
I'd like to see them get the belts.
How many who?
Street Profits.
Street Profits, Heavy Machinery,
AOP.
TM61 got to come back at some point.
AOP are still there.
They're going to go up though.
Sanity, Fish and O'Reilly.
So you got your 5 tag teams there.
6.
It still needs a bit of work with some of them though. Ely brothers.
Ely's. Oh, gotta keep the Ely's in there.
So I don't know. I think it's Raw's tag team division's really flimsy at the minute. They've got the Hardy Boys,
Cesaro and Sheamus. Gallows and Anderson. And the Shield.
But then, I don't know. What would you do?
About tag teams? I'd have Heavy Machinery jump the queue, and I'd have AOP go up on different shows. But I'd like to
Heavy Machinery will jump the queue.
I'd like to see Heavy Machinery get their tag team championship run. I think they lost to AOP. I watched that match the other day actually, because I hadn't watched it, and I think it was quite competitive.
Right.
So I'd like to see them now that AOP are on their way out to get their AOP and Sanity and Heavy Machinery is that's Heavy Machinery could technically beat Sanity, I think, and Sanity would not look weak. I just want Heavy Machinery to win the belt. Can anyone tell?
Just a little bit.
I was so good they went on takeover, and I wanted to see the Profits as well.
I've got some funny news to finish off with, because it's funny. John Morrison's new name in Impact is Johnny Impact.
Is it? I wonder how long it took them to think of that.
I wonder how long it's going to take for him to be champion.
Johnny Impact.
Poster boy for Impact Wrestling.
That was a very long WrestleThoughts.
Sorry, how long was that?
No, all together it was an hour.
Really?
Impressive.
We've gone over the top. It's time for a poem.
Shall we go on to a wrestle poem since my family have returned to my abode?
We shall, yes. You're first.
I'm first. So my wrestle poem is called Men of Honor.
Crikey.
Welcome, Men of Honor, even though your debut showed dishonor. What a way to make an impact, encouraging the roster to react. An attack on a new champion, setting a new NXT ambiance. O'Reilly, an attitude so intense, anyone messing with you has no sense. Fish, you hit so hard, opponents will be playing the I surrender card. Hello, Kyle, or is it Sean? What a bright future, a new dawn. Welcome, Men of Honor.
You excited about it?
I am.
I am too.
I was referring to... sorry, I've said hello, Kyle, or is it Sean? Because I wrote it this morning. It should have been hello, Adam, or is it Sean?
Sean.
Because they compare him to Shawn Michaels.
Do they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that. Super kicks and all that.
But I just read my poem wrong. Hello, Adam, or is it Sean?
It was good, yeah. It was a nice hello to the new guys. I'm very excited about this. I don't know if anyone's noticed. Actually, I have to apparently wet myself now, because I told Jake when Adam Cole comes to, it was when I was tipsy. When Adam Cole comes to WWE, I would actually wet my pants.
So you got to weigh yourself. Did he remind you of it?
He hasn't reminded us.
Do you know what else I was thinking about? You remember a while ago when Jake said all of 3MB are going to have titles? Well, we're two-thirds of the way there.
What's he? Yeah.
Heath's not going to do it.
No. Has he got to be singles titles? He's not going to get
it's got to be a single. He's had one.
Yeah. What? When? Have they got to be all together though?
They've got to be they've all got to be top of the mountain at the same time.
I don't think I can wet my pants.
No, I don't think you should.
I don't think it's possible.
Do it. Birmingham will send him a picture and he's not there to enjoy it.
I could just, yeah, okay. Mine's called Pleasure Pain.
Oh, nice.
It was about going to Scotland and being away from the world. It was my favourite place on the planet, but I had no internet. I'm going away to Scotland, hooray. There won't be any wrestling though. I'm going to my favourite place on earth. There won't be any network though. I'm here, beautiful scenery all around. I'm going to miss NXT TakeOver though. I'm here with my family, good times and fun. Wonder what green t-shirt man is up to though.
Didn't see him.
I saw a sea lion and ate an ice cream. I never saw SummerSlam though. I'm at home watching wrestling with snacks. Hooray! I wish I was back in Scotland though.
That says a lot about you as a person.
Well, then I'm never happy.
You're never happy. You were pooping on that one when you told us you had written it, but I really like that one.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was
I
good.
thought it was a bit rubbish.
I like ones that every second line has the same ending. They're my favourite kind of poems.
Green T-shirt man was there.
Was he?
Yeah.
You spied him?
Did you see him on NXT TakeOver?
I didn't spy him, I was looking for him.
He's in the front row. How did you not see him?
I was looking.
Me and Jake had a deep conversation about Green T-shirt man. We were wondering if going to every single pay-per-view in NXT TakeOver would suck the fun out of going to a wrestling event. Because
would wrestling just become like everything else if you could do it whenever you wanted?
It'd be like having a season ticket to your favourite football
But
team.
I know people that never
Get sick of that.
get sick of that.
But would you get sick of travelling around the country? Like,
No, just drink on trains.
but it makes it less special though, doesn't it?
No, I agree. Would wrestling just be would it just be the same as everything else?
Answers on a postcard. What do you think about that?
That was a fun episode.
Wasn't it? There's no Gonzalez this week, no.
We must have talked about someone.
Can we just put No Way Jose in there? Our main roster, No Way Jose.
Yeah. So, hang on. So that's the Gonzalez Award. Is No Way Jose on the main roster?
In there, Andre the Giant battle.
Yeah. So No Way Jose, you have entered
the Hall of
Fame and shame, mainly shame.
If you
Gonzalez Award this week.
If you want to get in touch, it's the WrestleFriends Podcast at yahoo.com, but no one ever does. You can comment on our videos on YouTube, or you can look us up on social media, all of them.
We are on iTunes and SoundCloud.
Easy to listen to.
We are. We're
tell
everywhere.
your friends.
We want WrestleFriends. There's still none. This is episode 9, so the next episode is episode 10. We should do something fun. We'll have had a think about it, and
maybe we'll crack open a Budweiser.
I think we should have a beer.
Maybe.
Jake hopefully will be back. We can do some quiz.
Quizzing, yeah. I'm beat now. Are we starting again with that?
Oh no, you're not beat. It just keeps going.
Beat.
I didn't even know. What is it? 3-1.
Yeah, Jake just made it up and said I have to be
4-1?
called a silly nickname, which is stupid.
He doesn't get to decide anything.
Right. Okay. That it?
Yeah.
Bye.
Thanks, WrestleFriends. Good night. Or good morning.